Get started. I'm Kilian. I'm from the Vienna University of Technology. I work there at the research group for industrial software. We do basically applied research on software engineering. Besides working in the ivory towers of university, I also work at the university spin-off, where I do large Java enterprise development. And today I'm going to talk about assisting software maintenance by connecting existing source code and tasks, which is basically a talk about integrating traceability to the Mylyn ecosystems, especially Mylyn Versions. Let's get started with the beginning of each project. Each project starts from a greenfield view. The board is nice. You can easily develop features. There are no obstacles which hinder you, like loads of legacy code. And if you got bugs, they usually fixed within minutes because the software is nicely structured, the design is good, and you don't have to worry about other things you shouldn't worry about. But usually most projects don't stay small and in such a good shape, because as the time progresses, the projects tend to get more complicated, and if the software was developed for a longer time, some people forget to document features or to do refactorings to keep the structure still nicely. Also, if you have certain developments like bug fixes for just one platform which are not in use anymore, it also tends to make the system more complicated than it could be. And if you've got such a structure, you will end up using more time to searching actually for the issues and for the causes of the issues. And also, if you're going to develop a new feature, you have to look for the right spot. Is it a good spot? In the first picture you saw, the green field, it's a good foundation for all new features. But if you have such a structure, you have to find out if you can build upon an existing feature to achieve your business needs. And well, as time progresses more, you hopefully won't end up with something like this. That's the Kowloon walled city. It was in Hong Kong. It was demolished in the 70s. And well, it was an unregulated area. People built there and without any overview or regulations from the government. And if you have a software which is similar to this, you have a hard time to develop, because bug may manifest them on the outside, but the cause could be somewhere in that mess. And that way you have to look all through that mess to find the real cause, and also where you want to build your feature upon. You have to really think if that's a good idea. And also, if you change something in there, how do you make sure that you didn't broke anything else? And well, that building analogy isn't that good for software, I think. But there is quite a good quote from Ruff Johnson. He's a computer science professor in the US, and he said, "Software is not limited by physics like buildings are. It's limited by imagination, by design, by organization. In short, it's limited by the properties of people, not the properties of the world. We have the meta-enemy, and he is us." Which basically means, well, an architect can screw up and the building will collapse. In software engineering, well, you can screw up and you only recognize far later than when you made the mistake. And that means we have to do good engineering to keep our software systems in a good shape, and we have to care about this. We have to do software engineering, software craftsmanship, or whatever you want to call it. Maintaining software projects is also dealing with large code bases. And luckily, in the Eclipse ecosystems, we have one project, the Mylyn project, which allows you to work more efficiently with larger code bases. Mylyn offers a context feature, which hides all stuff which is not relevant to your current task. And usually, when you've got a new task, you will navigate around the code base and look for the places where you will implement your new feature or implement a bug fix or find the cause of the bug. And in that phase, you will populate your context. And in the second phase, where you implement it and design it and test it, you will use that information in the context, and you have a much clearer view of your system there. Another feature of Mylyn is, well, the mentioned task integration, which allows you to work efficiently with the tasks. And you can start the context information also on your tasks. But if you have a legacy project, it's not that sure that you have that information there. Well, in software maintenance, you have one advantage. You have data about that project. For example, you have the commit data, and well, there's the identifier for the commit. What's a git commit? And then you have a title and a descriptive text about what and why that has changed. And in the end, there is a reference to the issue. And hopefully you're all doing this. Maybe you're using a SCM which supports this connection to the issue tracker natively, like ClearCase or Purpose, I think. And I want to tell you why, because the commit message, once committed, it's static. You can't change anything. And usually in industrial software projects, we are not doing pre-commit reviews. And if I commit something which is not optimal or is not everything, you can't recognize that by looking at this commit message. But if you have that information stored in the issue tracker, you will have much easier place to discuss and discuss these issues with the implementation. Also, you have task information. And if you have a software project, you hopefully have your issue tracker. Well, that's usually the case. And if you have a new feature or if you discover a bug, the bug usually affects some existing feature, or the user story refines or extends an existing feature. And you can easily model that relationship in the bug tracker. And I think it's time for the demo. Where is it? Okay. So I have an Eclipse instance, and I've installed my plain PD installation, I think, with Mylyn and Jira plugin, I think. Well, and and the project I've been working on, we found a bug in the Spring component. We filed it, And the guys at Spring Source did a good job. They found similar bug reports and grouped it into, or linked it with other bugs. And the context feature of Mylyn allows you, well, if I have the bug and I want you to provide a patch as a contributor, I can use a Mylyn to work with that. And for example, Mylyn already supported something like this. Well, I've activated the task by clicking on the button, and if you activate the context feature for your package explorer and for your navigator and so on, it will hide everything that's not relevant. And you can easily populate your context by, well, clicking on stack traces or with the change set feature we've implemented. We've provided a new view to the task tracker to view the change sets associated with that bug. It works by indexing the commits in the background, and when you open the bug, you can we look for any commits which are stored with that feature, and we can show more details of that commit and what is really relevant for maintenance programming. You can import these. You can import the data, the affected files into your context. There is a switch for including the subtasks. Well, on that commit, there is only one commit, and I can import that, and it will show up in my commit. And if I have the view, it will. It will show me the files I've had in that change set. So, also the editor can be also focused to the. Well, you can also use the context feature in the editor to hide or to collapse the methods which are not relevant, but the integration with the versions doesn't work currently that you get the exact locations of the change. So if I change, for example, this method, this doesn't get added to the context. So another feature is, I've mentioned that a task or a bug is usually not alone in the repository, and with that links, you could easily link these bugs, and by linking it, it allows me to use the import the context of a sub-feature. So if I have a user story with a lot of bugs in it, a lot of tasks in it, which each introduced a change set, I can include the subtasks and import the whole implementation of a feature with the subtasks into my context. So that's the old one. Hopefully there is another. Okay, it's already in the context. Yeah. Any questions so far? Okay. Yeah, the version project started mostly as a support project for the reviews project. There was a summer of code student who tried to aggregate all that information from the different Mylyn subprojects to the task base. But it's, well, in a quite early phase of development, and we usually try to get people interested in working with that. And yeah, I think that was the demo. And well, hopefully people will get involved with that. And we're looking to provide a programmatic API to the team connectors. Currently, the team connectors are more suited for providing a user interface to Eclipse users, but you cannot. They don't have a programmatic API to do common tasks for your plugins, and also we try to integrate with the Mylyn ecosystems. Okay, well, that would be the end of the presentation. Any questions? It's a sub-project of the Mylyn project. It's Mylyn Versions. Yeah, it was started about a year ago, mainly for supporting the Mylyn reviews projects, the task-based reviews, and the R4E. Well, we started the Mylyn reviews project in the university, and that was a support project for, I think, builds and reviews. All right. Thank you.